What is good? What is up? It's Jordan or Texans Thoughts, and I'm back with another Texans film breakdown. Today, we're going to be looking at a 2019 matchup between Gareon Conley and Titans AJ Brown, the first game that we faced off against the Titans this year. And this is going to be a great matchup to look at because we're going to be seeing a lot of these two battle it out for years to come. And in this game, Brown finished with 9 catches for 114 yards, but as we know, the stats don't tell the full story. How much of that was Conley actually responsible for? And that's what we're going to find out today. So if you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. Thank you to everyone who's responded to the survey I made for y'all. I really do appreciate it, and this is the last week that you have to respond. So if you want to give any feedback or suggestions for what type of content you want to see me post during the season, now is your chance. The link will be in the description. Now, let's break down the film between Gareon Conley and AJ Brown because the film don't lie. So I'm going to go in chronological order of the game, and Conley didn't even start right away. We had Roby and JJ on the outside, and AJ Brown just absolutely feasted because of it. He burned the old man JJ and made it look easy. So have fun with that, dude, Titans fans. But seriously, Brown is just faster than JJ, and he also uses his hands well. You'll see right here that JJ tries to jam him and slow him down, but Brown just uses his inside hand and swats away JJ. Brown is a physical route runner. That's one thing I love about him. I even see a little Andre Johnson in him, just with his stature and physicality. So we knew we had to take out JJ. He just wasn't going to be able to keep up, and so we put Conley on the left side of the defense, and him and Roby always just play sides. We don't ask them to follow guys around. And so in this one, we're in our patented cover one in off coverage, and Brown's got Hargraves on him, and he's trying to run a drag over the middle of the field and use all this traffic that you're going to see pop up as kind of a pick. So let's see how Vernon is going to navigate all that traffic. So ball is snapped, and at this point, look at all the bodies in Vernon's way. There's 4 other guys just making a wall right in front of him, but what saves him is that Zach Cunningham and Jaleel Adai, they're gonna kind of push Brown further to his right than where he wants to go, right? He wants to take more of this angle, but he's pushed further closer to the ball, and so that gives Vernon time to make up all this ground. And credit Vernon for running all the way across field and making a great tackle, especially because AJ Brown was quite literally the best yak wide receiver in the NFL last year. So we finally got our first matchup between the two, and the Texans are in cover 4 and Brown is running a post, and he honestly gets open, but he's not targeted and Conley doesn't give up a catch. So technically Conley gets the dub here, but like I said, Brown was open. If the throw did come, he would have gotten a catch. But was Conley really responsible? I know he was lined up with him, but since we said that the Texans are in cover 4, Conley, he's responsible for this deep quarter zone, right? And the way we play it, the cornerbacks aren't responsible for in-breaking routes like this. Like, they aren't supposed to be jumping an in-breaking route that aggressively. They're not supposed to play it aggressive. They're supposed to play passive and take anything away from the deep game, right? So that's why Brown gets open on this one, in my opinion. It's really not Conley's fault, like talent-wise. It's more just scheme-wise. That's what they're built to give up. Now away from each other again, and Brown had himself a day against Roby. He wins on a nice out route where he sells it vertical well, then he drops his hips, stops on a dime, and then the big thing is he comes back to the ball. That's so important for wide receivers, and look at the angle at which he makes his cut at first. It looks like he's going to end up around here, but then he changes that angle and comes down field just 1 extra yard. But that 1 extra yard makes all the difference because now Roby can't make a play at the catch point. Like, he's close in coverage. If Brown did end up running his route like the original angle showed right here, Roby could have made a play. You know, he was that close, but he didn't. He brought it a yard closer, and that's what really helped him. And this next play is going to look almost identical, again up against Roby, again running an out route, and again coming back to the ball for another 11-yard gain. AJ Brown just seemed unguardable on out routes. Roby couldn't stop him, now Vernon can't stop him. Whew. The Texans roll to a cover 2 on this play, and there's just no one to stop these quick underneath routes by Brown. The Titans did a good job to scheme this one up. You're going to see here that these 2 routes, they're going to work to clear out for Brown. This out will occupy JJ's flat zone, and this vertical will force Hargraves to carry with it and follow him upfield, leaving a hole in the defense for Brown to feast. The Titans continued to scheme well by getting Brown on Conley in the slot, where Conley is just not as comfortable. He's much better on the outside, and here I think he might have been anticipating a double move, because at this point you can see that he kind of stutters right here, and I think he was thinking Brown was going for an out and up, and that's why he didn't drive on the ball that fast. He was playing it more passively. But this is definitely not a great play out of Conley. He doesn't make a good tackle either, and This is the first true time that Brown has beaten him. They were starting to match up together more often, and another time here in the slot where Brown, he gets sort of open, but I think Conley is close enough that he would have been able to at least limit this to not really a big catch, and he might have even been able to drive on it and break it up against Roby in the end zone, and he had him locked for a while, but credit to Brown for never giving up and getting open, while the Texans pass rush was just non-existent. This was just painful to watch, man. Ain't no cornerback covering for this long. But from this point on, Conley covered Brown the rest of the game, and this play was actually really important because there were 9 minutes left in the fourth. It was one possession game. The Titans were driving, but Conley locked down AJ Brown and helped force the coverage sack to get the Texans off the field, and eventually we would go to make it a 2-possession game. So Brown is going to be running his out route here that he's been killing us with all game long, but Conley does great to stack him. He's staying on top, and he subtly feels when the break is coming. You can see he has his inside hand on Brown, so when Brown stops, Conley stops on a dime as well, and if Tannehill throws that, that's an easy pick. And so like I said, that play was instrumental in turning the tide of the game. We ended up going up 10, and then the Titans, they did march down to our end zone, but Conley wasn't having it. No matter what angle you look at it from, he was just smothering Brown on this play. His length and his physicality really comes into play right here, and it's just great to save the touchdown. So again, he's playing stack technique, trying to stay on top of that top shoulder, and while Brown, he may get a slight step on him, Conley transitions to playing from behind, and he just plays Brown's hands beautifully. So this throw from Tannehill needs to be absolutely perfect ball placement, and it's just not. It's too far out, and Conley gets credited with the pass breakup on this one to save the touchdown. Another snap matched up on the goal line, and while the Titans do score here, this is still a dub for Conley in the scope of the matchup. There's nothing that he could have done to stop the touchdown on this play. Now the final play of the game, and in the most clutch situation, it's just one last time where Conley is shut down. And Brown didn't have a whole lot of time to run his full route because we got pressure, but Conley's in good inside position right here to jump the post if it was thrown anyways. And this is just a great conclusion to the game. Okay, so now that we've looked at the film, we can use that to help contextualize the stats of the game. So there were 35 passing attempts where AJ Brown was on the field, and on 28 of those, they were against non-Conley defenders. So on those snaps, he was targeted 10 times, which is a crazy high rate. On those 10 targets, he finished with 8 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. Pretty amazing stats, and it matched with the film. J-Joe got burnt early, Roby couldn't stick with him on out routes, Vernon Hargreaves wasn't much better either. Our non-Conley cornerbacks, they just weren't able to cover AJ Brown all damn day. He's a really, really good wide receiver. Might honestly be the best in the division. It's tough. He's a really great athlete, a detailed and physical route runner, can take the top off the defense, and is a yak monster. I would honestly be scared of facing him for the foreseeable future if we didn't have Gareon Conley, but we do. And with that said, let's see how he fared up against AJ Brown. So there were only 7 snaps where the two were lined up against each other. Not a great sample size, but again, our cornerbacks, they play sides, they don't follow wide receivers around, and clearly the Titans didn't want Brown to be guarded by Conley. And so on those 7 reps, Brown was targeted only 2 times, but Conley only allowed 1 catch for 7 yards. And that was that one time that he was in the slot, not his strong suit. And the other target, he forced a pass breakup and saved a touchdown in the goal line. But most importantly, it was the clutch plays that Conley made throughout the game that you're not going to really see show up in the stat sheet, but he still had AJ Brown locked up. There were multiple high impact plays, that one where he helped force the coverage sack, giving the ball back to the offense who scored a field goal, and we ended up winning by 3, so that was a big time play. Then there was the saved touchdown I just mentioned, and even on the very last play of the game, he had Brown covered up as well. So when the two actually lined up against each other, yeah, it's a small sample size, but Conley dominated the matchup. Brown still had an amazing game, I'm not taking that away from him, but that's not really the point of behind these videos. It's only looking at the matchup of when they played up against each other. So with that said, the winner of the matchup between Gareon Conley and AJ Brown is Gareon Conley. He was easily the best cornerback on our team in defending Brown, and thank God, because that dude is going to be a problem in the NFL. I really hope we honestly start asking Conley to follow around wide receivers because the dude is legit locked down. Alright, that'll do it for my Gareon Conley versus AJ Brown breakdown. If you enjoyed the video, please do hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and comment down below your thoughts on the video. If you're still listening, you're a real one. I appreciate you. And the question of the day is, if you could only choose one, who would you rather start a team with? Lockdown cornerback in Gareon Conley or star wide receiver in AJ Brown? Let me know. Also, survey. Click the link in the description. I want to hear what y'all think about the channel and what y'all want to see on the channel in the future. Also in the description will be links to everything Texans Unfiltered related. Great website, podcast episodes, another YouTube channel where I post videos. We've got tons more Texans content for y'all. Alright, this was Jordan or Texans Thoughts. Hope you enjoyed and come back for more videos every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Take care everyone, and remember, the film don't lie.